Hey, welcome back, friends. If you enjoying the friends, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Today, I'm going to be talking about clockwork suits. This is a very good method of training up agility at the lower levels. It doesn't give a whole lot of experience. It's only about 20 to 30,000 experience per hour, but you can do it from level 30. Only requirement is to start the Cold Wars quest so that you can actually make these clockwork suits. First thing you are going to have to do, obviously, is make the clockwork suits. I have quite a few in my inventory already. I went a little bit overboard. You only need like 3 or 4 to realistically do this method, depending on where you're going to be. And all you're going to need to do is go to a clockmaker's bench. I believe you can use that with anybody that has a clockmaker's bench, so you don't have to make one yourself. And you need level 30 crafting in order to make these. And then you need 1 plank, 1 clockwork, and 1 silk, all of which are actually relatively cheap cheap materials to make. I think planks are like 500 GP, clockworks are going for 3 to 4,000, and silk is like 20 GP. So pretty cheap to actually make these. You're probably looking at 20 to 30,000 to make the 3 or 4 that you actually need. One thing to note is it doesn't automatically make another one, so you're gonna have to re-click on the crafting and make another clockwork suit. I will get back to you with how exactly to use these though for the maximum amount of XP per hour and agility. The next thing you're going to want to do is find yourself a location with very few squares in it. Basically, as you can see here, there's only 3 squares in this location. This is going to be the best location that doesn't have any requirement to actually get to that I can find. You may find one that has 2 squares. I don't believe that there's any place that only has 1. That would be the optimal way of doing it, is just to have 1 space to actually be releasing these clockwork suits. And the next thing you do is you wind up the clockwork suit, and then you release it, and a little penguin suit will be running around. You'll see the guy, he's going to be running around for a little bit, and then when you pick up the penguin suit, it gives you 13 XP. Now this doesn't seem like a whole lot of XP, but we can do this extremely quickly. What you're going to want to do is, obviously you want a place that is going to be 3 squares long, but you want it to be in such a way that it's flat. You don't want to have any nooks or crevices in it. And the next thing you're going to do is put the clockwork suit on your ability bar. When you actually put the clockwork suit on your ability bar, it automatically winds it up anytime that you click the button 1. So let's click the button 1 and it should wind this suit for us. And traditionally what you'd have to do is right click release, but super fancy here, if you put it on your ability bar, it automatically releases it as the first option. So if you hit number 2, it will automatically release a penguin suit. So you'll see him running around a little bit here. I would also recommend turning on mouse keys, that way you're not going to be moving around your mouse too much. And then what we're going to be doing is clicking the number 5, and we're going to be able to pick these up extremely quickly. So all we're going to be doing is spamming 1, 2, and 5. You're going to be running around like a lunatic probably, but you're going to be getting decently quick XP by doing this. It's just constant little clicks of 1, 2, and the number pad number 5. You can always obviously do this with a mouse instead. One thing to note is you cannot actually put a clockwork suit where you already have a clockwork suit, unfortunately. Otherwise this would be an extremely OP method. I believe when it first came out that was actually possible. You could just stack these suits and just be constantly every single tick getting 2 or 3 little 13 XP ticks. But as you can see, I'm getting XP pretty fast here. Do want to mention that this is rather click intensive. I don't really have to focus on it at all, but it is relatively click intensive to be doing this because I'm constantly having to click. That being said, you could still watch a show or be doing something else on the computer just passively. It's just not something that you can do while also actively doing something such as Artisan's Workshop or something like that. It's not really AFK, it is click intensive. I'm going to show you an even better location than this. This is going to be the best non-unlockable location. I do have one better location to go to show you that actually only has 2 squares instead of the 3 on the top of this tower. The best location to do this is actually going to be in the Barbarian Outpost Agility course. That does require level 35 agility, so only 5 more levels than originally doing these Clockwork suits are going to require. And it's also going to require you to complete the bar crawl quest. Not too hard of a mini quest. It takes like 10 minutes just to run around and go to all the bars and get the signatures from the patrons there. But once you get into here, all you do is you climb over the obstacle net, and then you are going to go across the balancing ledge. Hopefully you don't fall. If you do, you are going to have to just retry. It's only 2 obstacles you have to go through, so very low chance of actually failing. And as you can see here, there are only 2 walkable squares in this area, and then there's a ladder right here. So what we're going to do is we are going to angle it so that we are not going to accidentally click on this ladder. So you're going to be a little bit to the left of where the ladder is, and you want to be relatively low because these Clockwork suits are relatively low to the ground. You hit the number 2 and release them. Just rapidly hit 1 and 2 and the number 5 as well in order to just walk back and forth and just pick up all of these as quickly as possible. Seeing as how there's only 2 squares, that means you're never going to have to walk more than 1 square to get to the penguin. You do have to be on the same square as the penguin to actually pick it up, unfortunately, but just rapidly click 1 and 2. As you can see, I'm winding it up literally as soon as I get them picked up out of my inventory. Also, in this location, you're only going to need 2 to 3 penguins in order to fully get the maximum XP per hour. I'm not 100% sure why there's 4 in my inventory. I know that there's 3 spots, so I'm going to guess that it's number of locations that you have plus 1 in order to fully have all the penguin suits that you might ever need. So for this location, I would recommend having 3 penguin suits, and for the Falador, I would recommend having 4. Like I said though, that they're very, very cheap. It's gonna cost you maybe 20-30,000 to get 4 of these. Very, very nice experience at these low levels, because honestly the second best way of getting agility experience at these levels is actually the Barbarian Outpost course. And that's only going to be giving you like 12,000 XP per hour, and this is going to give you 20,000 XP per hour. So definitely worth doing these at the low levels. Hopefully you guys are all going to be doing this next time you start training up an account. Love it if you leave a like to let me know if you enjoyed this video. Also comment and subscribe to my channel so you can see all my future content. As always though, have a good one.